Let's look at a couple of exam questions about this topic. And the first of which is this one, is a paper 7 from November 2007. Question 1, it says this. Isaac claims that 30% of cars in his town are red. His friend Hardip thinks that the proportion is less than 30%. The boys decided to test Isaac's claim at the 5% significance level and found that 2 cars out of a random sample of 18 were red. Carry out the hypothesis test and state your conclusion. 5 points. You are going to see how simple this is. You have here all the information that you need. Starting obviously with the significance level, as I mentioned in the lesson, it is stated. It's 5% in this case. What is the first step? The first step is to decide what the null hypothesis is and what the alternative hypothesis is. The null hypothesis is what Isaac claims, is that 30% of cars are red. The one that is challenging the null hypothesis is Hardip, that says that the proportion is less than 30%. So the alternative hypothesis is the probability is smaller than 0.3. The null hypothesis is that it is equal to 0.3. Now comes the part that will provide you the data to run the test statistics. You have 18 cars, 2 of them are red. It seems a very small number. Okay, so it seems that Hardip is the one that is correct. But again, you need to test this with hard data, hard numerical data that you are going to put as a percentage to compare with this 5%. And you are going to use the binomial distribution for this purpose. So here you have all the information, null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, the significance level. The random variable is obviously going to be the number of red cars, and is 18, and you are going to test for the probability that x is smaller or equal to 2. That's what Hardip says, that it is smaller than 30%, so that's what you put, smaller or equal to 2. Why 2? This is the number of cars that were found to be red out of the 18. In other words, you are going to calculate the probability that x is 0, 1, and 2. So that's what I did over here. You already know how to do this. And I have an overall result of 6%. So this is the numerical percentage value that you are going to use and compare against the significance level of the test, which is 5%. What happens in this case? 6% is bigger than 5%. So this means, as you saw in lesson, that the H1 is rejected, Hardip's claim is rejected, and Isaac's position remains true. H0 is accepted, the null hypothesis is accepted. So there is no evidence to suggest at the 5% significance level that Hardip's claim is correct. Okay, I just said this in the opposite way, as you can see here written in a sentence, but they both mean the same. Let's look at another one. This is question 2. This is from, let me see here. It's also paper 7, June 2003. Before attending a basketball course, a player found that 60% of his shots made the score. After attending the course, the player claimed he had improved. In his next game, he tried 12 shots and scored in 10 of them. Assuming shots to be independent, test his claim at a 10% significance level. Again, 5 points. And again, you have here all the information that you need. Let's start with the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. The null hypothesis is that the percentage of success of this player is 0.6. The alternative is that it has improved, so that it is bigger than 0.6. What is the data that you are going to use? The number of shots is 12, so n equals 12, and it scored 10 out of them. The significance level is 10%. It means that you have everything. Let me just go down. There you have the whole thing. Okay, so null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis. significance level, the random variable, it's obviously the number of shots scored, n equals 12, you are going to test the probability that x is bigger or equal to 10, okay? Don't forget, he scored 10. You will always have to test because the claim is that it's bigger than 0.6. You will always have to put the probability that x is bigger or equal to the value that you have on the test statistic. So in this case, the probability that x equals 10, 11, or 12. So just go ahead, calculate it. Okay, you already know how to do this. And you had a result of 8.4%. Again, look at the significance level and compare. 8.4 is smaller than 10%. So this means that H1 is accepted. The alternative hypothesis is accepted. H1 is rejected. It means that for the 10% significance level, it means that the player has improved after attending this course. Note that if the test was made at a 5% significance level, then it would be the other way around, okay? So the claim or the final statement that you write is always in relation to the significance level of the test.